No, go. Not too fast. There we go. No, just messing
It's
with
a
you.
hard job.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
you're
messing with you.
just messing with me.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Episode 4 of the
Of the
Stupid Podcast.
Stupid
What
Podcast.
question do we have?
Oh, right. Right, that's what I'm here for.
You had one job.
I know.
All right. So
No, first
and
the introduction.
so
So,
quantum
welcome-
mechanics.
So, welcome by the 4th episode of the Stupid Podcast.
My co-host Janina Verhaar.
Thank you.
Did I say it right?
Verhaar. Thank you so much.
Whatever. Janina Pino soon enough. So there you go.
Thank you. So, okay. Yeah, we're gonna answer some questions again today.
At some point,
Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Okay, cool. Being competent in what exercise makes you, Julien and Janina, feel strong like a gorilla?
That's a very good question. I like that one. There was a few like there was so let me go maybe like top 3 like stuff like I really
Yeah,
enjoy.
okay, just do it top
Like
5.
the stone lifting
Stone lifting, you
made
like?
me feel like a badass.
Okay.
Because like it's about this big, right? And so I did 160 kilos, like 360, over like it was like super high, like 58, 60 inches. So a meter 50, and I did it 3
But
times.
my height.
No, a bit shorter than you. Thank God, a bit shorter, but it was like at least here. And so I got the stone like over that bar 3 times.
That's crazy.
I was in competition. That made me feel like a badass. I won't lie. Like stone lifting is cool, but that's because I watched it as a kid in the 90s, where the world's strongest man and everything, and I don't know. I just feel like it's badass.
I can imagine.
Yeah, the dumbbell, the monster dumbbell, that one arm stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because I put like 85 kilos, which is a human being, like overhead. Like I like the move. I found the movement very impressive. So those two, I think, are my 2 favorite strongman movement. And there was a
Right.
specific like camber bar good morning that I used to do, where I could put a shit ton of weight and move the weight at a specific range of motion, where I always felt like my whole body was getting into the movement.
And then to
Pause.
pause.
Done.
Oh, the dogs. I don't even hear them anymore at this stage. Like
There we go.
I muted the whole sound.
Back at it. So those exercises made me feel always like, not this. I don't know that those are necessarily the 3 I would do in order to get stronger,
Yeah.
but I love the feeling they gave me. I always felt strong doing that. Sorry if you can hear the dogs. It is what it is. I like that. What about you?
Right now, I don't feel competent in anything we do. So no. I think the deadlift. I really like the
You're
deadlift.
killing the deadlift. So yeah.
I always liked it. I think with cleans too, because it's such a fast movement. So I like that one a lot. And the other day when we did that one that went like this, like the Super Saiyan one with like the
Oh, the upright one.
yeah.
Yeah. you
I like
that
that one a lot.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
and
more
that was
global
all-
gym movement.
Yeah.
By the way, I think I need to put like a star, like which is the heavy sandbag carry. I have to put it as like
Yeah. Okay. Like 2 more then at least, like
Right,
a top
like
5,
the-
like a heavy sandbag carry for
heavy
sure.
sandbag carry, because it's just the most functional one out there. Lapping, by the way, you have to lap it. You can't just take it off of a box. Stop shitting. Lapping what was the max? 385 was my max. So lapping a 170 kilo sandbag and carrying it, I was like, that's badass.
That's bad.
Because the pressure on your stomach everywhere, like that was pretty badass.
Yeah.
Then I would have to add farmer's walk, because it's such a functional movement. I don't think there's a better movement overall than the farmer's walk. I don't know that there's a muscle it doesn't do.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I like a sandbag carry too. Like a good, like heavy sandbag carry. I like.
Right.
I also like the sleds. Like I gotta
I know,
tell
we're
you.
gonna turn into 10 exercises.
Yeah,
But,
no,
okay,
we said
let's
a top
go.
5. We said a
I
top
know, yeah,
5.
but let's do that. One exercise where you think, if you had to, if you choose one exercise to make you strong, what would it be?
Which I like, or I know it's functional.
That you think will make you strong? Like, let's say you have to wrestle a gorilla, and you have one exercise. Which one would you choose
Jesus
that you think would
Christ.
make you the strongest? Would you choose a clean and push press that you were doing?
I think I would do more of like a movement
A movement stuff?
thing. Yeah.
I think I'll go with a clean and press with a sandbag.
You know which one that made me feel strong? Like the sandbag over the bar. I think I would do that.
Yeah,
because
that's a
it's
very good choice because that triple extension
yeah,
type of thing, that's a very good choice. I would go with the clean and push press, like
yeah,
getting strong because I don't like again on that one. I guess the farmer's work you don't do the triceps, but you take a heavy sandbag, cleaning it is a bitch, hurts everywhere. Your upper back is under tremendous pressure, and push pressing like 120, 130 kilo sandbag is you are brutally strong if you can do that.
yeah, that's
My
true.
max was 110. I know I did 110.
It's
I don't think I went
crazy.
over that. If you do 120, Richard did 120.
That's
That was
crazy.
he cleaned 130. I can't remember if he pressed it or not, but he cleaned 130 sandbag. I know he pressed a
Jesus.
120. That was one of the most impressive feat of strength I've ever seen.
That's
Like,
crazy.
especially that he weighed
Richard,
100 kilos at the time.
yeah,
That, to me, was still to this day, is one I consider one of the most impressive shit that I've seen. Pound for
yeah,
pound, was Richard in front of me cleaning the 120 and pressing it. Like, I gotta tell you, that's impressive shit. Because
yeah.
I've tried and I could clean it, I could not press it.
But he
That's
is so strong statically
so
too.
strong statically.
It's
Way
crazy.
stronger. Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
I guess that would make me feel like a gorilla. It's a tricky answer. No, there's so many, right? But
Yeah,
anyway, there we go.
yeah.
Next one.
Okay. Oh, why do I like ET flow like training so much and then really dislike ET exercises?
So what do you like IT flow so much?
IT/flow like
Yeah,
training so
exercise,
much.
and you don't like the ET. Yeah, so okay. So if we look at
Exercises.
it from a non-neurological perspective, but let's say nervous system perspective, the flow is what counts things down. It's the inner look, looking into the inner world, whereas the ET is sympathetic, explosion, aggression toward the outside type of things. And so you're in flow, there is no shock to the system to it. You're in a rhythm, and there's a ritualistic almost approach to exercise in IT flow work. That's what we call the cyclical work, like the circle thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost a ritualistic aspect to it because it's the same technique all the time. You get into a groove, and because you're into a groove, you feel safe because it's the same thing over and over again. The ET is exactly the opposite. You're going to be very aggressive, very explosive, entirely not safe.
So do you think it depends on the person you are, which you like better, or it depends on the state where you're in at the
The
moment?
state you're in at the moment. Maybe
That goes hand in hand.
that goes hand in
basically.
hand, obviously, like the person that you are. But no, I could train you to like the ET as well. I think it's more a state. Like at this moment, you just don't want to push certain boundaries. So now we could have the conversation. Do you need to push the
Yeah.
boundaries? That would depend highly on the person. Like if
And
you're
where you want to be, right?
where you want to be, but also like right. But this is a deeper conversation we need to have as in the main strong fit stuff. Is the need to also push like. The idea of Q training is Q minus one, right? So that means that there's no Q, as in there's no fail. You don't go into the loss. Great. But it's also Q minus one, not Q minus five, which means you don't get to cruise and never challenge. So I don't want you to lose, but you need to be challenged as well. So if you only do IT flow, at some point you are fooling yourself into a shallow mode of success. You're winning
Yeah.
because there's no challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if there's nothing to lose, there's nothing to win either. And so at first, it might feel great to just go in the flow because there's nothing aches, you're in a ritualistic, everything feels good. Right, but there's also something called hormesis, which is, positive response to stress. The body needs to be challenged as well. Otherwise, you won't make progress.
Yes.
So you can get yourself stuck really fast if you just do IT flow because it feels better. Right, but it's like eating ice cream, tastes awesome, or Nutella, tastes awesome. It's not always what's best for you, right? So there's a problem there too. Now, if you only do ET, only do macros and just have cucumbers and chicken, you can also go crazy. So you know what I mean. So there's always a balance to have. The problem is we understand the idea of not pushing the balance too much towards stress. Most people do. Some are addicted to it, but most people know it's not good. I think most people miss the point that you can also go too far in the other way, that the lack of stress is as dangerous as too much Stress, and stress in a negative way, right? Lack of stress is also negative because it does not challenge you enough, and the body needs that challenge. So you can get yourself stuck in doing only IT flow work. You need the challenge. Now, there are ways to make the challenge positive and correct, obviously, right? But you need both sides. So to go back to original question, you like it so much because of the flow work allows you to go more on the parasympathetic, the calmer side. Maybe you have anxiety or stuff like that, so it allows you to feel better. Very ritualistic. You can feel safe. You can be in tone with your breathing, with the movement pattern. So there's a deep connection to yourself in an IT flow workout that you will not find in an ET flow workout. There's no question. But you want to fuck shit up, it's going to be in ET, not in IT. That's a fact.
Ready for the next one?
Yep. We had 10 minutes, so one more.
Well, a lot about the protocol. How do I get lean? How I can hold on to it? Well, that's the new
podcast we're going to do.
Yeah, that's the new podcast we're going to do. How would you use Strong Fit principles to train for a marathon?
Right. So
she said you with like big letters. So I don't know if they mean you or me.
I'm not training for a marathon ever. So that does not apply to me. Let me train you how I would train you for a marathon. So if I would train myself for a marathon, okay. So, well, I guess I can make it a two-pronged answer and then that'll be the last one, right? If I run a marathon, the first thing I would have to take care of it is my feet, because that right foot is a problem. Like just doing the sprint is murdering my foot. It was broken really badly when I was 11, right before I was supposed to go to the European Soccer Cup of 11-year-old. And it was broken in, turns out, like, I don't know, 8, 9 places. I was playing with the kid of my mother's husband. So stepbrother technically, and then we were carrying a stone and he dropped the stone and he dropped on my foot, broke everything. We go to the doctor because we're in the Azores, the island of the coast of Spain. He looks at it and he's like, no, it's not broken. Didn't do an x-ray, didn't do anything, so it's not broken. So he wrapped everything and I walked on it, kind of. So all the bones fused completely incorrectly. I go back home 2 weeks later, I take an x-ray, everything is shattered. And at the time, they're like, well, you started fusing, you started healing already, so we don't want to re-break the foot. That was a mistake.
Yeah, they should have
re-broken the foot, but they didn't. And so I grew up with the bones completely misaligned. So that created a structural shift. And that foot is still not good. So for years, I walked with and trained and did the yoke carries on the wrong pattern, which created the tension on my right lower back. So if I wanted to do something as hard as a marathon, especially at 100 kilos, I would need to really train my feet first. Then from there, I would train my hips, and then I would train my conditioning. The key is to look at it from the S pyramid perspective, is you need to work your structure in order to run. Your structure means your feet first, your hips second. That comes before anything else. Can you endure that many steps? Yeah. I cannot. So I can have the best conditioning in the world. If my feet can't take it, who cares? So that's what I would do. After that, I would probably not even run a half marathon. What I would do is I would do a lot of shorter runs based on conditioning. That's how I trained for the 5K. I trained by doing 1K. The longest run I did preparing for my 5K that I run in 20 minutes, so not bad, was by doing it in 1K intervals. I would run 1K every 5 minutes. So that means that I would run 1K in 3.5 minutes. Yeah. And rest for 90 seconds and then do it again 3 times. Yeah. And then I should have worked to 4. If I were to work myself to a marathon, I'd probably do that in a 5K format or something, or 3K or 5K format type of thing. But I would work on just running certain distance shorter, recover, do it again, recover, do it again. A bit like I do with the lifting. And always in the Q-1 format. So I would train exactly like I train the lifting, but I would do that for a marathon. Yeah. I would not run a half marathon or a marathon at all. So, I would run a half marathon as a test to know that my training is going well, but I would be about it.
Yeah, but he's asking specifically in Strong Fit principles.
Yeah, those are the Strong Fit principles. It's the S pyramid. Yeah. You train the base of the pyramid, the structure, and the structure is going to be your feet and your hips. So that means a lot of work toward that. So the lifting will also be counting those in. Like you need the
Yeah.
strong hammies, you need the glutes, you need your hips to be strong.
Yeah.
So still, it applies.
Okay.
All right. So that's episode 4. We're going to stop from there because it's 50 minutes. And then we shall come back with episode 5.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.